Okay, here we are in a 1972 Ford F100 with a 360 engine, 2-barrel carburetor. This is how the engine compartment looks at this time right here. Here it is. We're going to start by replacing all the battery cables. All these old rotten out cables, corroded cables will be coming out. Easy, take your wrench there, make sure your battery is disconnected all the way on both sides. Loosen everything up. I put a little WD-40 on everything before I did anything. You see down here, I've already started to install the negative cable where it originally went to the block down there. I can see it down there. To the block instead of going to the alternator mounting bracket where the old one is at, right there. Right there. It doesn't go there. So I'll be taking all that out. And the carburetor, you can see it's all dirty and all that. We're going to be cleaning that up. And we'll be cleaning up the whole cab here after I cover up the distributor and the carburetor and some other items with plastic. Spray it down with some Summer's Eve and see how it takes it off. We got a report that there was something wrong with the wing window. And let you know what I did to both of them real quick. Is I heated it up with a hair dryer. Then I put drops right behind there with a little device I have there, a little tube, and dropped there and just worked it back and forth. It took me like 10-15 minutes, but now it goes back and forth easily. And I did that on both sides. Same thing with the door frame here. You can see the door handle's not working out properly. I'm going to lubricate all that out. I lubricated this knob here and that works good now. And I lubricated everything in there where the locking mechanism is at. Then we'll be changing out the intake manifold, putting a 4-barrel on here. We'll go ahead and rebuild the 4-barrel, listen to that. And we have an intake manifold off a 410 cubic inch FE engine from a 1969 Lincoln Continental. And we're going to put a 4160 Holley carburetor and rebuild it first because it's been sitting probably for 30 years. And we'll put that in here and see if we can change it. I found some old Maori ignition coils, the big heavy duty ones. Maybe change that out. And maybe near the end, maybe put a Petronix electronic ignition in here. But it starts up with a click of a key right now. So we'll see how it goes. But eventually this cab will be switched out with the one that's up there. Like the interior is like brand new. Air conditioning, really nice. And of course there's my 69 baby doll. Install the distributor cap real quick. Boom. I didn't set this down because I'm going to be going inside the cab in a minute and start this baby up with a click of the key. And then I'm going to hook this up temporarily because I'm going to come back out here and zip tie everything, and I will be in, and oh, by the way, so in the anticipation we will be installing power brakes in here shortly. I went ahead on the other engine up there, took this multi-vacuum port right there. You can see that would take the brake booster vacuum line to back. I got plugs and everything. So next time I fire this up, I'm going to be tuning the engine just a little bit better because I didn't like it. I'm going to put a vacuum gauge on there and see about doing old-fashioned vacuum adjustments and everything to tune the carburetor right. I already shot carburetor cleaner at the bottom of the carburetor and made sure there was no vacuum leaks and everything. It was about a year ago, so you can see the sealant right at the bottom. I had replaced all those gaskets, had a major vacuum leak, and went through the whole thing, cleaned everything, flattened it up, and now it runs just fine. And I will be checking the exhaust manifold flange gaskets down there, donuts, whatever you want to call it, and you see about replacing those. And I'll show you how you can test that with a little spray of water, so if you can see a little bit of exhaust throwing away the micro spray mist. That's it. Let's go to inside the truck. Let's fire this thing up. That's the damn key. Of course not. As you can see down there on the gas pedal, one pump. Boom. Should fire up. Make sure it's not here. Yeah, well, I'm going to get to run a lot better. See, the oil pressure comes right up. And I use the 30-weight motor oil in here, and it's gauge. Well, we'll wait for that to come off. The same thing up here. And I'll get back to you in a couple minutes after it warms up. Okay, here's a little nothing for everybody here. So these older type trucks, yeah, great. You can't put everything to memory, this and that. But you can go ahead and take a white paint marker and write it down on the inside of your cab. Write down your dwell, your spark plug gap, the point gap, this and that, your lug nut size there. And I'll be adding the torque for each tire, this and that. And you can hear it now, it's warming up, this and that. And for some reason, it takes a goddamn long time for the temperature to get up there and warm up to show it on the gauges. Let's check that one more time. The temperature is not really where I want it to be. Not really where I want it to be. I don't see nothing really coming up. It's probably about 100, whatever. Okay, so we need to take this back, and I was complaining that there was no up and go with this baby, right? Thinking there's a problem. So after researching it and going down to fortification and reading about all these other inputs from all these other guys, why I was thinking that there was a vacuum leak, there was no vacuum leak. There was a jetting on the carburetor, no problem there, the carburetor is just fine. So one guy, out of reading 50 items, said, go ahead, put a vacuum gauge on there, thinking it was a vacuum gauge. Well, it's not, I mean, the vacuum diaphragm, a vacuum advance. It's not that at all. But once I got over here and really looked at it, goes, oh, it goes, it holds it. But it doesn't go all the full travel. It stops right there. So when I'm driving it, I'm only getting micro advance. So I'm gonna have to tear this distributor apart and find out what the problem is. Okay, so I've discovered why this engine is running sluggish on the road. So I put a vacuum pump on it that I got at a store recently. I got 4 or 5 different types. We're gonna plug this in and watch the vacuum work on this 1972 Ford F100 four-wheel drive 360 engine. That's Y on the serial code. Now watch, it only goes so much. Now my son just installed this new vacuum diaphragm here maybe a year or so ago. Hasn't really driven this thing more than maybe 200 miles since then. Now watch. See how small, short distance it traveled? No, something's binding up somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and take this thing apart right there. But before I do that, take that off there. I'm going to get an Allen wrench set. And there's an adjustment inside here. And let's go over to the toolbox. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 toolboxes. And we're going to go to Allen wrench. I got all this stuff. I got this toolbox from the 1960s. And well, being a pack rat, SAE. Let me take that out there and see if I can find something. Yes, I don't throw nothing away. And if I find it for $1 at the Goodwill, I buy it. Hopefully one day when I'm gone, someone will appreciate all the stuff I saved of all these different, working on warships for 40 years. Okay. Let me take a little break. Let me get the right side of Allen, experiment with it a little bit, screw it in and out and see if it changes the travel, and I'll come back and explain it. Okay, we're back here. It ended up being a 3/32 Allen wrench. Got it in there. I had originally backed it out thinking, okay, maybe that will travel back farther. I backed it out all the way to the stop. Now I'm gonna, and that was 5 turns. And I'm gonna take it back in 5 turns. And this is basically where it was. And now I'm gonna, let's see, let's get that thing back on there. I'm going to turn it in now. Let me see, it's 1, 2, 3, okay, 3. And it bottomed out. I don't force nothing. So let's go ahead and put the vacuum pump on it again. Of course, I'm holding the camera because if I set it down, I'll swing around, hit it with my stomach or something, and knock it on the ground, and it'll shatter. Or if I was a woman, other things would turn around, knock it off, and make it shatter. Okay, let's go ahead and pump that. Okay, that's a little bit more than what I had. Is that something? I'm not really satisfied with that. So once I put it together and I hook up that temperature sender, I'll take it for a ride and see if it changes anything. Before, when I would drive it, it'd be sluggish, this and that, and it's like, it acts like the power valve was blowing on this, but it's not. I just did the carb, so that's it for now. Wait till I fire it up and take it for a ride. So the last segment I showed you, we went ahead and adjusted the we adjusted the vacuum diaphragm travel distance, right? I pulled it all the way out. I didn't move it all. I screwed it all the way in with a 332 Allen long one, and now it's just running just fine. So now, looking down there, I'm going to put the timing light on there, an old one from the old days. And you can see the bottom white line that goes almost across there is right now it's at 8 degrees advanced. So I'm going to go ahead and take my vacuum pump, which is at 0. I'm going to advance the timing by way of the vacuum diaphragm. And I'm going to hold it there, and it holds. And you can see the engine smooth right out. And when you look down there, it's probably at about 20, 25 plus degrees. Maybe even up to 30 degrees. And it's just running nice. I can't wait to take it for a test drive, but before I take it for a test drive, clean up all the plugs, port, starboard, and I'll fine tune the carburetor and all that before I take the next ride. And you'll see a big difference. When I take it for a ride, you're going to see it to perform. And then I'll probably take my 69 out ahead of time to show you exactly how it's supposed to run. And it starts with a click of the key. One click, 1/2 revolution. And then we'll get this to do the same thing. So. Okay, going back to what I did to tune it up, I had to adjust the vacuum diaphragm with the Allen wrench through where the vacuum tube goes. And when I originally looked at it, this was installed about 5 years ago by someone else, and it had just about 0 travel. I took that, I screwed the screw in and increased the vacuum travel, and everything runs fine now. So I said, I wanted to go ahead and check all the spark plugs. Well, what I did find, that the spark plugs were, before you take them out, always blow out everything. That way nothing will get into your threads. I did find that the spark plug gaps are far off. So I'm going to go ahead and remove them all, put them in the cardboard here, record the gaps on them. I think they're supposed to be 035. That one's 040, and this one's 045. And we'll find out what the rest are. And by having these odd gaps, you're going to burn your points of condenser out in a short period of time. So I'm going to pull them all out, and you can see right there all the gunk that was around them. I'll clean everything up, put it all back in at the right torque, but I'll get them all up here. We'll run through and show you all the gaps on all of them. I'll get that to stay like that. Show you the gaps. We'll write the gaps down, this and that. You'll see that that's what makes the engine run unbalanced. Little things like this. And while I was up there looking at the 70 truck up there, I found a coil pack with spark plugs there. But the main thing, I don't care about none of that, even the distributor cap, was I found the original mounting clips for the spark plug wires to go onto the valve covers. Because as you can see here, the wires are all going wild everywhere. There's no clip there to hold it in place. So what I'm done here, it'll all look nice and uniform. Nothing's going to get hung up nowhere. So remember, always blow everything out before you take the spark plugs out. And just by chance, I did take out 2 spark plugs, and I found that I had to use a 1/2 inch breaker bar. Someone had them in there like 80 pounds torque. So look up your specs. It's not that much torque. Okay, I said the engine was running like it was unbalanced. And you can see the little T there stands for the front harmonic balancer. So the number 5 had 045, which made too big of a gap. 6 was 040, 7 and 8 were 040. Number 1 was 040. Number 2, the only correct spark plug gap in there is 035. And 3 and 4 were 040. So I'm going to adjust, after I wire wheel them up a little bit, little carburetor cleaner, I'll re-gap them, make sure everything's spotlessly clean, clean up the threads, clean everything up there, and put them all back in. I don't think anyone needs to be shown there. I will look up the spark plug gap and use a torque wrench to get them at the right torque. Okay, I wanted to show the spark plug though had an 045 gap existing in the truck when I took it out. This one was really extremely tight in there. And I'm going to show you the gap. Here's the 045 wire type. I prefer these. Wire 045. And take your time. You can see right there, I'm going to adjust it. And I'm not going to do no radical bend. I'm going to keep checking it. Okay, so I got it. Okay, smaller than 035. I'm going to open it up just a micro hair at a time. You see how the wire? See it? No. I got that wire halfway in there. See how it's tipping side to side? That's not right. So even though it doesn't go to 0.04, it still means like 37, 38. So I'm going to micro adjust it again. Then you want that wire just to snip through, just like that. See how I have to pull it? I can't do nothing else with it. I can't wiggle it side to side. It just goes through. Just a reminder on how to do it correctly. So now I'm going to install the last plug. All the other ones were installed and torqued. This is the number 2 plug. Come on, baby, go in there. Screw everything in by hand. Don't put nothing in by air, electric, or little wrenches they have by Snap-on. No, they don't even bother. Screw it in by hand. When you got clean threads, everything goes together very easily. So the torque is 18 to 20 pounds. Let me set this up where I can. 18 to 20 pounds. Okay, thank you. I got the torque wrench all ready to go, already calibrated. And once it clicks, stop. Get there and put, I'll put a little extra in there. Teach Susie a lesson. No. Okay, I guess it just turned off a second ago. So now I'm getting ready to torque in it at 18 to 20 pounds. I got it set at 19. There, clicked. Don't go no more. Like I said, I was barely able to get that thing out. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put some wire guides on here and call it a day. Then I'm going to fire it up and warm it up and see how it runs. I put it all in, the cables are in. Let's put that one cable back in, damn it. Put all the cables in, put the little guides in. Got the spark plugs in there wrong. Think, okay, fine. I took it up to the top dead center on number 1. Came back here, fired up the engine. Now it sounds really good. So I figured, oh, I'll let it run, warm up. Left it like running for 5 minutes. Came out here thinking, damn, that sounds good. Maybe I can clean the carburetor. Then that's when I realized the cap was just sitting there. And I was like, oh, let me go and turn that engine off. Halfway warmed up and take care of that. But as we have the thermostat, I would recommend we change it. It's been around like 8-9 minutes and no, the radiator's not even warmed up yet. Don't like that. So he's got the truck. He's been running a little crappy. The engine's cold. Let me put my hand down there. The engine, damn, it is a little bit warm. I just started it a minute ago. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up. We're going to go ahead and check the dwell. And let me hook up the timing light. I'll be right back. So I hooked up a dwell meter right there. Crossbit, I've had that for a long time. I hooked up my old Sears time light that I've had for many decades. I set up enough lighting so I can see everything. I set everything up so nothing would fall into the fan blade for safeties. And we'll go ahead and see if we can get started. Okay. The old L1 click on the gas pedal. Okay. You can see the dwell is at 43. It should be about 28, 29 max. Let's go over here. Everything looks good over there. We'll take the timing light and see what we have going on there. Okay. So right there it is running about 4 degrees advanced as is with a 43 degree dwell. So let's go ahead and tear apart the distributor. Let me turn this off. We'll be right back. Okay, I got lucky. The GoPro was able to mount on top of the 1/4 20 carburetor mounting screw. So I'm going to go ahead and take everything off real quick. Check everything, the condition of everything. Here's your distributor cap. You can see down on the side I marked the orientation of the turning of the distributor rotor. Each spark plug was identified with numbers. I usually have a little round piece of paper you can buy at the store. It has 1 through 10, whatever numbers there, so you can use. And we pull the coil wire. And we put this out of the way temporarily. Stay over there, baby. So now I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this distributor here. Look at the rotor first. As I'm looking at the rotor, oh, look at that. Okay, I'm going to get a side view of that. Stand by. Okay, so when I pulled the cap off, I noticed that if you can zoom in right down there on the lobes down there and this rotor right here, you can see that I can move the rotor and it pivots maybe about a degree and a half right there. See that? That's going to multiply as you're going by rotating. This is going to screw everything up. So we get to, and this thing slips up and down smoothly, like it's loose, worn out on the inside. Okay, let me pull the points and all that stuff. Got a screwdriver nearby, and then again, always buy that little tool you can get at Harbor Freight, stores like that, that magnetizes your screwdrivers. It's a godsend. It's always nice to have that. And we'll go through all the points and all that stuff shortly. Give me a sec. Okay, see how that hangs there? And tip it over there. Next. And be just as delicate as when you're taking this out as you're getting ready to put it back in later on. There it goes this way. The condenser. And then we'll take a look at the points. See what everything looks like. And then show you signs if it's still a good condenser or a bad condenser. I change everything when we do a tune-up. I don't care. And I did have a 5/16 wrench to take out that little side mount screw. Oh, gee, I usually loosen that up with the screws screwed up. Now you know, don't replicate my screw up. Okay. Pull these wires out. So I got everything out. Everything looks uniformly clean in there, but I noticed that one thing, that lobes there are dry. Okay, let's go over here to this table. I got a little sheet set up over there. And we'll take a look at the condition of the points. So I don't know if you can see that or not. But the points, let me get over so I got some sunshine. 1 second. Yeah, that's some of my metal art. Some of it up there too. Okay, so we've got the points right there. So looking at the points, you see how they're burnt right there? Metal transferring on either side. So you can never get a good, burn nice and evenly. The lobe's a little bit worn. Okay, let's go over there and take a look at some other existing points I have. I should have checked the gap before I took it off, but I didn't. That's okay. Here's another set. 2 or 3 sets of points with me. Yeah, of course the sunshine went away. Now here's a set of points I got off another truck. You can see the points are not aligned right on the top there. And if you look at it right there, it's off center. So that was always, oh, look at that. metal transfer right there. So that just tells you the condensers are burned out. What's this one look like? This one I got off a truck there. I would buy, save all that stuff. And that does not look in bad shape at all. So I'll keep that in my save pile and throw the other one away. Okay, let's go back over here. I want to show you a relic. This is the lobe lubricant that goes into these distributors for points and everything. And I got this at Go Telly Speed Shop in San Bruno on El Camino Way back in '75. So we got that. So now I have another set of points. Turn this 12 meter off. I got another set of points. These are standard ignition copper, standard ignition condenser. And you can see right there, it has a wick for the lubricant to ride along the cam. Your lobes down there, cam lobe down there. And let me see. Put that up in the light. Everything looks good. Okay, so I'm going to install this. I'm going to put a new, or actually another used rotor on here. You can see there, see the little bit of lubricant in there? So that's, I know that, I've had this in the past. I will use a file and slightly buff up the edges. But let me trial fit it on right now. And as you can see down here, it got that little, see a little stationary point there. Let me slip it down on there. And as you can see, there's no play. Zero play. So when you get a rotor that's loose and worn, just replace it. It's a $6 item, which used to be $1 item, but now it's $6. Take it off. Okay, so I will be right back. And we are going to set the points. I'll show you just to take your time. It'll come out perfect. And then we'll see what the dwell comes out. And then we'll see by getting a correct dwell, will that change what we have down there on the timing marks. So before I put the points in, I just want to let you know I got this magnetizer and demagnetizer. Got it years ago at Harbor Freight, just whenever on sale. I got for like $2-3. So, and I don't even take it out of the pack because I can still hang this up. Once you take them out of the pack, yeah, they go to the bottom of the little braid. It's hard putting your toolbox, and well, your grandson will find it one day and go, "What is this?" So I've already basically installed the points. I'm going to go ahead and put the last screw in. By using my magnetizer right there, it makes sure I don't lose these screws, because yes, I have lost them before. Put that in there. So the point gap is written right there on the inner fender wall, right to the right. Can you take a picture of that right quick? The white markings right there. So it has the point gaps on there. So I got this a little snug over here. I have already adjusted the distributor by moving the harmonic balancer, so I have the highest point on travel on my cam right there. Before I do that, I'll go ahead and put a little lubricant onto it. Here's the lubricant I got at Go Telly Speed Shop in San Bruno, California on El Camino Way. I usually keep a cap of this out here, I guess Q-tips to clean part, but I use it to apply oils and lubricants and little delicate things like this. So I've had this since 75, 76 thereabout. Use it, change the points of my 69 Camaro. And put it on here, right down in here. I'm going to apply it right in there. And I use these standard ignition points and condenser. I'm putting liberal amounts in there because I don't care if it smears off. And get it onto the wick right there. Put it away in a safe spot. Get that out of the way. Okay, now. Oh, thank you. Just broke my leg. Okay, here we go. Put that right there. My feeler gauge. My magnetic screwdriver. So, I'm going to go in here. And guys, girls, when you're doing this, take your time. What's the rush? There's no rush. It's going to take you a few seconds. So, you can show this right here. Gap right there. Point gap is 0.017. which you can see on the feeler gauge right there. That's 0.017 right there. So going back over here, I'm going to go into the adjusting slot. And let me see, open it up just a hair. I'm going to snug it up just a hair so that all I want is this feeler gauge to slide through with a slight little bit of rub. Okay, go here, zoom in on it on the gap. It's too hard. So right now you can probably see I'm pushing on it, and you can see I'm pushing the arm out. So that means it's just a little bit too small. Okay, so just open it up just a hair. Okay, tighten it up. Come on, baby. Oh. It's tight. The condenser's already, yeah, by having it magnetic, it wanted to grab everything. Okay. Now, if you look at that, now see how I'm able to rotate? No. You just want to slide up and down and feel a drag on it. Now, if I was to turn it one way or the other, you can see how it'll push the arm out. You don't want to do that when you're testing. When you're setting this slide up and down, got a slight little drag right there, and that's what I want. Okay, so now I'm going to put that off to the side. Take a look at the rotor. I got my rotor right here. This is the one I told you to use. I'm just going to take my flat file and just touch the edges. Give it a little bit more copper exposure. Can I go buy a new $10 standard edition one? Yeah, I guess I could. I guess I could get another 10 years out of this. So I'm going to put this down in place, slide it in, and as you can see, it doesn't wiggle or nothing. No movement. So I'm going to go ahead, stand that up, get this out of the way. I'll put the cap back in place. As in previous videos, you'll see me do the temperature gauge, some other things to here. And I'm really curious about how the dwell is going to change. I should have measured the, come on baby, come up. One more finger back there. There, snapped in. Get the coil plugged in. And right here, if you look right down inside the coil, pull the camera up a little bit. You can see it still has a little bit of dielectric grease in there from the last time I touched this thing. Doesn't hurt. And when you look at this engine, yeah, look at it now. We are going to be replacing this to a 4-barrel intake manifold off a 1968 Lincoln Mark II, 3, whatever it was, with a 410 FE engine, and it was pretty powerful back then, powerful now. Okay, so I'm going to take the light out of here real quick. I'm going to go in there, start it up, and if you can take a look right here on this dwell gauge, and we'll see what it does. Remember, it was 43 degrees. Like that, so the gap must have been real small. One pump. What have we got? 42. Let's get it on the wrong side. This is on 8. 8. It's the exact same as it was. If I got it on the wrong side. 49, 44 made no difference there. So, do I have that backwards? Okay. No difference. So let me go back and check the gap and all that. I'll be back. So I ended up with a large dwell somewhere up 43 like it originally was. So I went back in here to check what happened. So what happened was, well, I thought I had it at 17.017. It ended up being closer to 32 thousandths of an inch, and I don't know how it self-adjusted it, but I'm going to go ahead and loosen it back up. I got to set it up on top of the lobe there. I think what it was is when I tightened this one up, it must have pivoted a little bit. I usually keep the other one there just a little bit snug. Okay, it's loose a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and close that up just a hair. So I think I'm going to tighten this one here first. Okay. Then I'll snap this one up. I think what I did, I made it too tight. Did learn a lesson. I rarely ever work with these type of distributors nowadays. Usually we put the Petronics in there. Oh, look at that. Open right up to 17,000th of an inch. Hold on a sec. Okay. Going back to that now. How lucky. It just barely drags through. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. Zero to snap. Put the rotor back on. Lines up. Cap back in place. Line out of there. Oh no, that's going to fly right into the fan. Screw everything up. Set this back to 8 cylinder. Fire this baby up. So it did start up hard. Oh, I like that. Why do I still have that draw? Okay, I'm doing something wrong. Whoa. Okay, so I found the problem with my glow meter. The 28, that's what I want. A little closer on that. So I had it hooked up here on a bad ground, thinking that, okay, this will be fine here. And then you can see what the glow went to. So I'm going to hook it back up to the engine close by. There's a little aluminum tag there. Oh, shit, what's up? So that's the glow I want. Kind of weird about the, oh, I see. I have a ground from the engine to the frame, from the cab of the vehicle to the engine, and then you have the battery going to the battery negative goes to the engine. So I think what I am going to do now, I am going to add a ground cable to the hood. And that frame right there, that end. So right now it sounds really good. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop the cap back off. We're going to hook a vacuum pump up to it. And we're going to see if the vacuum diaphragm is good. We adjusted it previously. I want to double check. Let's go ahead and check the timing. Oh, so now the timing went right where it's supposed to be, about 8 to 10 degrees advance. That's with the vacuum on there. It's going to make up much of a difference. So let it warm up before we adjust the carburetor. And I will go ahead and put the receiver up, and we will go ahead and check the vacuum diaphragm to make sure it pulls, advances the distributor, but at the same time you want to make sure it holds. Right there. Okay, we're back here. We're going to check the movement of the vacuum diaphragm by applying vacuum with this little vacuum pump I have right here. I bought it years ago. I don't know where I even got it. My dogs bought it for me. Okay, let's go ahead and pump it up. You can see we got a full travel, almost the whole lobe. And looking at the gauge right there, just holding. Just sit here for a number of seconds. But before I turned off the engine, it was running really smooth and nice. So I'm going to go ahead and let it warm up. I have a suspect thermostat down there. I'm thinking that's stuck open because it seems to take forever for this engine to warm up. Now my 360 and my 69 F350 with the 360 same engine, everything's the same. It'll warm up in about 4 minutes. Nice. This has all the proper coolant, all the readings and all that proper. And it's still holding perfect. So I'm going to stop that test. You see I just let go, hit the trigger there. Oh, come on. Deadly scared to hit the aluminum radiator. Okay. Yeah, put this back on. And you know something? replace all your fuel lines, put an inline fuel filter on top. Some of these engines also have the canister, like this one. This one don't have the canister. My 69 has a canister. Change that filter all the time. All these fuel hoses right here, change them out. But there's one fuel hose to change, and that's on the bottom of the cab. I haven't got to that yet. So let me put this back in. Get this out of the way. And having magnetic lights makes things really easy. Okay, back to the clip. Snapped in. Okay. Make sure everything else here is clear. Timing light and everything's clear. Boom, 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 boom. Turn it off. Turn it off. And oh, by the way, always have some Q-tips in a little bottle here. You never know when you need them. And you gotta run back in the house or something. And now it just starts with a click of the key. And it is warming up very little. Dash lights work. Got a little way to go. I got some kind of gauge down here. I'm not really impressed with it. But I do like the dash light that works. I like the cigarette light that works. And I will be changing the heater lights to come up shortly. So let me rev up the engine a little bit, see how she sounds. Oh yeah. Okay, so what have I got down there to do now? Well, I'm going to let it come up to full temperature. And then I'll see about adjusting the carburetor. It's not really that dirty. I cleaned it about a week ago. So it's running real smooth. I don't feel no vibration in the engine. It's smooth now. So those burnt points and bad condenser made a big change by getting some better parts. And those points of the condenser I took out were welds. They were not standard ignition or motorcraft. I didn't. But the local store had the standard ignition parts. Okay, you see I got everything set up. Let that warm up. So I gotta adjust it, and I'm gonna see if I can find a vacuum gauge. And I will most likely leave all that there, and I will plug. What's that light at? I will plug into that vacuum tree that I put back there, and that vacuum tree will put back there so that we can go ahead and change out and put a power brake booster over there, which we're planning on taking out of that blue 73-quarter ton up there. And we plan on taking that cab, switching it over here, because this cab here has some salt damage from being from Idaho. That one up there has no damage whatsoever.